come to your senses.
This is the real world.
Hello and welcome to First Edition. With me today, our interviewer from Wales, Ian Caleb. And in the programme, how big a threat is Saddam Hussein? Why we may go to war with Iraq. Designer trainers. You can now buy them at the supermarket, but do you want to? And lessons in clowning from a well-practised 8-year-old. Britain and America are sending more military forces to the Middle East in preparation for a possible military strike against Iraq. They've threatened to use force if Iraq's leader, Saddam Hussein, continues to refuse to let United Nations inspectors into certain parts of Iraq. These are areas where he might be hiding chemical and biological weapons. Oliver King examines the growing crisis in the Gulf.
The Prime Minister recently described the Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein as an evil dictator and a threat to world peace. Both Britain and America have lost patience with Saddam ignoring United Nations rules. They want the rest of the world to join their military build-up to force Iraq to give in. The weapons inspectors left Iraq last week, convinced that Saddam is still hiding chemical and biological weapons. They could inflict massive human casualties if used against his neighbours. Saddam has refused to let the inspectors look in his palaces, and Britain and America have threatened military action unless he does. The Prime Minister and President Clinton have both said they'll try and find a peaceful solution first.
In the face of the threat from Saddam Hussein, we must stand together once more. We want a diplomatic solution to the crisis, but the success or failure of diplomacy rests on Saddam.
Saddam has used nerve gas, a chemical weapon, before against the Kurdish people in Halabja in northern Iraq. And since the end of the Gulf War in 1991, the United Nations has been destroying as many weapons as they can find. But Saddam has continued to disrupt their mission, and that might cost him dear if America fulfills its promise of military action. With more American soldiers heading to the Middle East, Britain has sent one aircraft carrier to the Gulf to back up the 3 American carriers already in the region. Britain has also sent 8 Tornado bombers to Iraq's neighbour Kuwait. Raids would be launched from ships and the US airbase in southern Turkey, and possibly from Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. Any attack against Iraq will target chemical weapons sites, military and communication bases, using cruise missiles launched from destroyers at sea, backed by British and American bombers. Last week, Israel installed defensive missiles to shoot down any Iraqi attack. They do have good reason to worry. During the Gulf War, Saddam launched Scud missiles at them. Then, an international coalition was formed after Iraq invaded Kuwait. The war succeeded in forcing Saddam's forces out, but stopped short of invading Iraq and removing him from power. But the present crisis about inspections is less clear, and fewer countries accept the need for bombing.
I think the biggest risk for Britain and America is that they may embark on a military campaign that does damage, possibly causes apparently innocent casualties, and doesn't succeed, appears to be futile, and drags on.
Saddam, though, is clever at playing different countries off against each other. He continues to suggest compromises that stop short of letting the UN inspectors see all the possible weapon sites. And if the crisis ends in bombing, he knows that he, and at least some of his weapons, will probably survive.
Oliver King. Now we're joined in the studio by Nabil Masawi of the Iraqi National Congress, a London-based organisation which is opposed to Saddam Hussein's regime. Ian, what would you like to ask Nabil?
Why do you think that Saddam Hussein has denied the UN Inspectorate access to his weapon dumps?
Ian, Saddam Hussein believes biological and chemical weapons is his instruments to secure his survival in power. As far as he is concerned, it's not to serve. Power is not to serve his people. Power is not to bring peace to the region and to his country. Power is for him to enslave the people of Iraq and to blackmail the nations of the region.
If Saddam believed that he was actually under attack, do you think that he would use his chemical weapons against the opposing armies?
If he feels the attack is threatening his power base and threatening him personally, he will not hesitate to use chemical weapons or biological weapons. He has used it in the past, and he has shown the world that he will not hesitate to wipe out a whole town, civilians, for the purpose of staying in power.
What do you think will happen if nothing is done to stop Saddam at all, diplomatic or otherwise?
You will have evil extending its grip to other countries in the region. We saw what happened in 1990 when Saddam invaded a neighboring peaceful country like Kuwait. He did a similar thing again in 1994 when he went to the city of Erbil in northern Iraq, which is under UN protection, and slaughtered civilians for the purpose of clearing the opposition from there.
Finally, if Gulf War II actually unfortunately rears its head, if there's no more diplomatic alleyways to go down, would you and your organisation support the British and American in the attack?
We've always supported the British and the Americans, but what we are saying to our friends in Britain and our friends in the United States, you need to do more to sort out this problem. You can't stop at the military strike. This will only postpone the problem again for a few more months. What we need to do is to secure an end to the dictatorship in Iraq, and through the democratic opposition, you can help us to install a democratic regime, and we will open all the doors to the UN inspectors to search for the biological and the chemical weapons, and to get rid of it and get rid of the dangers they possess on civilians.
Nabil, Ian, thank you both very much.
Pleasure.
Now, you either have them or you want them. Designer trainers are all the rage, and everyone knows that you pay a lot of money for a brand image. But now supermarkets have started selling these objects of desire at a much lower price. But do you really want to buy your trainers with your cornflakes? Laura Ferry reports.
It's an unlikely place for a battlefield, but the aisles of your local supermarket have become the focal point of a war. That's because alongside the everyday brands like baked beans and pedigree chum, you'll find goods usually sold at top prices in trendy stores.
Brands like Calvin Klein, Adidas and Nike, the sort of brands our customers do want to buy for a reasonable price. They won't actually supply them to us directly, so we actually buy them from a grey market. The grey market is an unofficial market.
By buying goods cheap, in secret and in bulk, some supermarkets can sell cool gear like Nike trainers for half the usual retail price. These were just £50 a pair.
It's perfectly legal for the retailer to sell its goods at whatever price it chooses, and that leaves it up to the customer to decide where they want to buy them.
But brands like Calvin Klein and Nike aren't happy. Nike told us that Tesco have been selling old Nike at discount prices. Tesco do not offer the range of product or expertise to help consumers choose the right product for their sporting needs. And there's another aspect to this battle.
They want them to be sold in shops which provide a bit of excitement, sports shops where they're appropriate for that, and they feel that the brand values that they've been advertising, would be devalued by displaying them next to the baked beans.
So, what do Tesco customers say about this?
If they're cheaper here, why pay £70 more? Why pay more when you don't have to?
As long as they're cheaper, don't care about the image.
I would buy it here if it was selling it cheaper, but I say I got it from somewhere else because it's a food store and it's not really like a clothes place, so it doesn't look cool or anything like that. So
I went to Oxford Street to find out just how important image is to the trendy customer.
It's all about image, so it's where they're sold, not just what they look like or what they cost. And if you're a kid and you want to buy a nice pair of trainers, you want to go to a really cool shop that specialises in them. If you go to Tesco's, then what's that about? It's about baked beans, or Marks & Spencer's about knickers and socks. You don't want to go there.
Buying your branded good may be a ticket to style, but it is perhaps true that the longer the supermarkets sell these goods half price, the sooner you may stop regarding them as cool. Because for many, an exclusive and luxurious product shouldn't come easy, and it shouldn't come cheap. Laura Ferry for First Edition.
Most children don't know what they want to do when they grow up. I certainly didn't. And nor do children have any idea of what many jobs are really like. But Gareth Ellis from Ramsbottom in Lancashire knows exactly where he's headed. And he's already got a lot of experience in his chosen profession.
I went to Bippo's circus when I was 3 with my mum and dad. I was really excited when I got there and I met all the clowns and my favourite one was Bippo, and that's when I decided to be a clown. For my following birthday, my mum and dad bought me some scarves and I taught myself to juggle with them. When I was 4, I won a Dreams Come True competition in a magazine and starred in Blackpool Tower Circus. When I was 6, I won the Pontins Young Entertainer of the Year as a clown. When I was 7, I wrote a letter to Bippo asking him if I could be in his show. He replied back and said yes. So I worked as a clown in his circus over the summer holidays. I stayed in our family caravan with my mum and dad and practiced routines with the other clowns, and I performed in the show. Since then, I've been to a clown festival in Holland and worked in a theatre company in Russia twice. Every clown designs their own makeup. We only use the colours red, white and black. My mum has to help me with my face. My clown name is Bippo and I wanted to name myself after Bippo, but noted clowns can have the same name, so I changed the Z to a B and made it Bippo. I learnt to be a clown in various different ways, and some things I taught myself, like this. Different clowns have taught me different things, like this. I've just passed my level 1 circus skills at college, and I was the only kid there, and I learnt to do things like plate spinning. Walking on a globe. Spinning a Diablo. Using a pedal go. Riding a unicycle. But I'm still practicing this. I want to be a clown when I grow up, and Bippo has offered me a job in 2006, which is a really long time.
Pretty good. That's all for this week. Well, almost, Ian.
Don't forget our internet quiz. Last week's £100 winner was Class Primary 7, Larkfield School in Greenock.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Bye-bye for now.
Stay tuned for Speed, Skill and